Technology and personal relationships. Technology now offers many solutions for people to stay connected, such as social media, messaging apps, and video calls. However, some people believe that these tools have a negative effect on personal relationships. Do you think technology has a positive or negative impact on personal relationships? Against the backdrop of rapid social and technological change, digital communication has emerged as a significant issue in contemporary society. People now depend heavily on social media platforms, instant messaging applications, and video calling services to maintain personal relationships. Although this development may weaken face-to-face interaction in some cases, I would argue that its overall impact is largely positive, provided that people use it in a balanced and purposeful way. One compelling argument in favor of digital communication is that it allows people to maintain emotional bonds despite geographical distance. This is particularly important in a world where many individuals study, work, or settle far away from their families and close friends. Through video calls and instant messages, they can share daily experiences, provide emotional support, and remain involved in one another's lives. Beyond this immediate benefit, digital communication can also help people reconnect with old friends and build supportive online communities based on shared interests, experiences, or values. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential drawbacks should not be overlooked. The most serious concern associated with this trend is that digital tools may gradually replace meaningful face-to-face communication. Some people may spend hours texting, reacting to posts, or scrolling through updates, while failing to have deep conversations with those around them. This becomes particularly problematic when online interaction creates the illusion of closeness without genuine emotional engagement. Therefore, people should use technology as a bridge for communication rather than as a substitute for real human connection. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that technology has a positive impact on personal relationships when it is used wisely. The best approach is to take advantage of digital tools to strengthen communication while still protecting time for sincere face-to-face interaction. Social media and relationships. Social media has a negative impact on human relationships. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? As digital platforms become deeply embedded in everyday life, social media has become both a powerful communication tool and a source of growing concern. Some people believe it damages human relationships by reducing real interaction, while others argue that it helps people stay connected more easily. Although social media is not harmful in itself, I partly agree that excessive and careless use can negatively affect human relationships. One compelling argument in favor of social media is that it makes communication faster, easier, and more flexible. This is particularly important in contemporary society where people are often separated by work, study, travel, or family responsibilities. Social media allows users to follow important life events, exchange messages instantly, and maintain contact with relatives and friends. Beyond this immediate benefit, social media can also create online communities in which people share ideas, seek emotional support, and connect with others who have similar interests, experiences, or values. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential drawbacks should not be overlooked. The most serious concern associated with this trend is that digital tools may gradually replace meaningful face-to-face communication. Some people may spend hours texting, reacting to posts, or scrolling through updates, while failing to have deep conversations with those around them. This becomes particularly problematic when online interaction creates the illusion of closeness without genuine emotional engagement. Therefore, people should use technology as a bridge for communication rather than as a substitute for real human connection. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that technology has a positive impact on personal relationships when it is used wisely. The best approach is to take advantage of digital tools to strengthen communication while still protecting time for sincere face-to-face interaction. Perfect lives on social media and self-esteem. Nowadays, many people become famous on social media and often share their successful moments. Some people say this can make others feel bad about themselves. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? In an age where online visibility strongly influences people's self-image, the display of perfect lives on social media has become a growing psychological concern. Many influencers and ordinary users frequently share successful moments, luxurious lifestyles, attractive appearances, and personal achievements online. Although such content can sometimes be inspiring, I agree that it may make many viewers feel dissatisfied with themselves and their own lives. The most serious concern associated with this trend is the rise of unhealthy social comparison. This is particularly common among young people who may compare their ordinary daily experiences with carefully selected and edited online images. When users constantly see others traveling abroad, earning large amounts of money, looking physically attractive, or achieving impressive goals, they may feel inadequate or unsuccessful. Beyond this emotional pressure, repeated exposure to idealized online content can damage self-esteem and create unrealistic expectations about beauty, wealth, happiness, and success. That said, this argument should not be accepted without careful qualification. Sharing success online is not necessarily wrong because positive stories can motivate others to work harder, improve themselves, or pursue meaningful goals. The problem becomes more serious when viewers forget that social media often presents a polished version of life rather than life as it truly is. A more sustainable way to address this issue is to improve digital literacy so that users understand that online content is frequently edited, filtered, staged, or selectively presented. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that perfect lives on social media can negatively affect people's self-esteem, especially when users consume such content uncritically. The best approach is to enjoy online content with a realistic mindset rather than comparing one's entire life with someone else's best moments. Computer technology in English learning. Computer technology has changed the way students learn English. What are the advantages and disadvantages of using computer technology in English learning? As education becomes increasingly digitalized, computer technology has significantly transformed the way students approach English learning. Learners now use online courses, digital dictionaries, video lessons, pronunciation apps, and AI-powered learning tools to improve their language skills. Although this development creates certain risks, I believe it offers substantial benefits when used under proper guidance. One compelling argument in favor of computer technology is that it gives learners wider access to English resources. This is particularly valuable for students who can't easily study with native speakers, attend international schools, or pay for expensive language courses. Through online videos, podcasts, interactive exercises, and digital learning platforms, students can practice listening, pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and writing at their own pace. Beyond this immediate benefit, technology can also make English learning more personalized, since learners can review difficult lessons, repeat useful content, and choose materials that match their level and goals. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential drawbacks should not be overlooked. The most serious concern associated with this trend is that digital tools may gradually replace meaningful face-to-face communication. Some people may spend hours texting, reacting to posts, or scrolling through updates, while failing to have deep conversations with those around them. This becomes particularly problematic when online interaction creates the illusion of closeness without genuine emotional engagement. Therefore, people should use technology as a bridge for communication rather than as a substitute for real human connection. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that technology has a positive impact on personal relationships when it is used wisely. The best approach is to take advantage of digital tools to strengthen communication while still protecting time for sincere face-to-face interaction. Promoting foreign language learning. Foreign language education is becoming increasingly important in today's globalized world. Discuss the measures that can be taken to promote foreign language learning. In an increasingly globalized world where communication skills strongly influence academic and professional opportunities, foreign language education has gained considerable importance. Languages help people access international knowledge, communicate across cultures, and participate more confidently in global study and work environments. For this reason, practical measures should be taken by schools, governments, families, and learners themselves to promote foreign language learning. One compelling measure is to improve the quality of language teaching in schools. This is particularly important because many students lose motivation when language lessons focus mainly on grammar rules, written exercises, and exam preparation. Schools should introduce more communicative methods, such as discussions, role plays, presentations, interviews, and real-life problem-solving tasks. To deal with this issue effectively, school-based instructional.
This video is brought to you by the Ielts Focus, facebook.com, the Ielts Focus, Zalo 0847 705 974.
6. Online learning. Online learning is becoming more and more popular, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of online learning. As schools and universities become increasingly dependent on digital platforms, online learning has become a significant part of modern education. Many learners now attend classes, submit assignments, receive feedback, and access learning materials through the internet. Although this development offers considerable convenience and accessibility, it also creates several challenges that should not be ignored. One compelling argument in favor of online learning is that it gives learners greater flexibility. This is particularly important in contemporary society, where many students have to balance study with work, family responsibilities, or long travel distances. Online learning allows them to study from home, review recorded lessons, and access educational materials at any time. Beyond this immediate benefit, it can also make education more accessible to people in remote areas or those who cannot attend traditional classes in person. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential drawbacks should not be overlooked. The most serious concern associated with online learning is the lack of face-to-face interaction. Students may feel less connected to teachers and classmates, which can reduce motivation, classroom engagement, and emotional involvement. A further concern is that online learning requires a high level of self-discipline, which some learners may not yet have. Without clear routines and strong concentration, they may become distracted by social media, games, or household activities. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that online learning is a positive development if it is designed and managed carefully. The best approach is to use online learning for flexibility and access, while improving interaction, learner support, and teacher feedback. 7. Computer games and children. Many children spend a lot of time playing computer games. Discuss the effects of this habit and suggest possible solutions. As digital entertainment becomes increasingly accessible to children, computer games have become a regular feature of childhood. Many children now spend hours playing games on phones, tablets, or computers. Although computer games may provide entertainment and certain learning benefits, excessive gaming can create serious problems for children's health, academic habits, and social development. The most serious concern associated with excessive gaming is its negative impact on children's physical and academic development. This is particularly worrying because children who spend too much time playing games may have less time for homework, reading, outdoor activities, and sleep. As a result, they may become physically inactive, easily distracted, and less motivated to study. Beyond academic problems, excessive gaming can also weaken real-life communication, since some children may prefer virtual interaction to conversations with family members and friends. Given the seriousness of this problem, a more sustainable response is needed. Parents should not simply ban computer games completely, because this may create resistance and conflict.
Instead, they should set clear and reasonable limits on screen time. At the same time, schools and families should encourage healthier alternatives, such as sports, reading, music, art, and outdoor activities. Educational games can also be used in moderation, provided that children understand the difference between purposeful learning and uncontrolled entertainment. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that computer games are not harmful by themselves, but excessive use can damage children's health, learning, and social life. The best approach is to guide children towards balanced and responsible gaming habits, rather than treating all games as completely negative. 8. Working from home. Working from home has become increasingly popular in recent years. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of working from home. As the nature of work continues to evolve, working from home has become an increasingly relevant issue for both employees and employers. With the help of computers, online meetings, and digital platforms, many people can now complete their tasks outside a traditional office. Although this working model offers considerable flexibility, it also creates problems related to communication, discipline, and work-life balance. One compelling argument in favor of working from home is that it allows employees to manage their time more flexibly. This is particularly important in contemporary society, where many people struggle to balance professional responsibilities with family life and personal well-being. Employees can save commuting time, arrange their schedules more conveniently, and work in a familiar environment. Beyond this immediate benefit, working from home can also reduce daily expenses, including transportation, meals, and office clothing. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential drawbacks should not be overlooked. The most serious concern associated with working from home is the blurred boundary between professional and private life. Some employees may feel pressured to answer messages after office hours because their home has become their workplace. A further concern is that teamwork and communication may become less effective when colleagues rarely meet face-to-face. This can reduce creativity, emotional connection, and workplace belonging. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that working from home is beneficial if it is managed properly. The best approach is to combine flexibility with clear working boundaries, effective communication, and occasional face-to-face collaboration. 9. Work-related stress. The World Health Organization defines work-related stress as the response people may have when presented with work demands and pressures that are not matched to their knowledge and abilities. Discuss work-related stress based on this definition. In an increasingly competitive and demanding labor market, work-related stress has become a major concern for many working adults. According to the given definition, this type of stress occurs when job demands and pressures do not match employees' knowledge, abilities, or available support. This essay will discuss the causes and effects of work-related stress, as well as possible ways to reduce it. One compelling explanation is that excessive workload places employees under constant psychological pressure. This is particularly common in modern workplaces, where workers are often expected to meet tight deadlines, handle several tasks at the same time, and remain available even after office hours. When employees do not receive enough training, time, or support, they may feel overwhelmed and powerless. Beyond workload, poor management can also make stress worse, especially when instructions are unclear, expectations are unrealistic, or workers feel unfairly treated. To deal with this issue effectively, short-term measures alone are not enough. Employers should provide realistic workloads, clearer communication, proper training, and emotional support. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that work-related stress is both a personal and organizational problem. The best approach is to match job demands with employees' abilities while creating a fair, supportive, and healthier working environment. 10. Food delivery services. Food delivery services are becoming more popular. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this trend and give your own opinion. As modern lifestyles become more busy and convenience-oriented, food delivery services have become a noticeable feature of everyday life. With mobile applications, online payment, and fast delivery systems, people can now order meals from restaurants without leaving their homes. Although this trend brings practical benefits, it also raises concerns about health, waste, and consumer habits. One compelling argument in favor of food delivery services is that they save time and effort. This is particularly important in contemporary society, where many people struggle to balance professional responsibilities with family life and personal well-being. Employees can save commuting time, arrange their schedules more conveniently, and work in a familiar environment. Beyond this immediate benefit, working from home can also reduce daily expenses, including transportation, meals, and office clothing. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential drawbacks should not be overlooked. The most serious concern associated with food delivery is the development of unhealthy eating habits. Because fast food, fried dishes, and sugary drinks are easy to order, people may consume them more frequently than they should. A further concern is that food delivery creates a large amount of packaging waste, including plastic boxes, bags, cups, and disposable utensils. This can place additional pressure on the environment. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that food delivery is useful, but it should be used responsibly and moderately. The best approach is to enjoy its convenience while choosing healthier meals, reducing unnecessary packaging, and avoiding daily dependence on delivery services.
Children's unhealthy diets. Many children today develop poor eating habits, which can affect their health in the long term. Discuss the reasons why children have unhealthy diets and suggest possible solutions. As modern lifestyles become busier and more convenience-oriented, children's unhealthy eating habits have become a matter of increasing concern. Many children now consume too much fast food, processed snacks, sugary drinks, and high-calorie convenience food. This problem is not caused by one single factor, but by a combination of advertising, family routines, and limited nutrition education. One compelling explanation is that unhealthy food is cheap, attractive, and heavily promoted to young consumers. This is particularly serious because children are easily influenced by colorful packaging, cartoon characters, online advertisements, and promotional campaigns. When unhealthy food is presented as fun, convenient, and socially desirable, children naturally become more interested in it. Beyond advertising, busy family routines can also make the problem worse, since many parents do not have enough time to prepare balanced home-cooked meals every day. As a result, they may rely on takeaway food, instant meals, or food delivery services. Given the seriousness of this problem, a more sustainable response is needed. Governments should gradually build healthier eating routines at home by preparing simple, nutritious meals and limiting children's access to junk food. At the same time, schools should provide nutrition education and healthier food options so that children understand the long-term consequences of poor eating habits. Governments can also regulate advertisements for unhealthy food aimed at children, especially on television and digital platforms. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that children's unhealthy diets are mainly caused by aggressive marketing, convenience-based lifestyles, and weak nutrition awareness. The best approach is to combine family guidance, school-based education, and public regulation, rather than placing the entire responsibility on children themselves. Traffic accidents. Traffic accidents are becoming a serious issue in many countries. What are the main causes of traffic accidents, and what solutions can be implemented to reduce them? Against the backdrop of rapid urbanization and increasing vehicle use, traffic accidents have emerged as a major issue in contemporary society. They cause injuries, deaths, emotional suffering, and financial loss for individuals, families, and communities. This problem is often the result of both irresponsible road behavior and weaknesses in transport infrastructure.
One compelling explanation is that many road users behave carelessly or irresponsibly. This is particularly dangerous when drivers speed, drink alcohol before driving, use mobile phones on the road, ignore traffic lights, or refuse to wear helmets and seatbelts. Such behavior increases the likelihood of accidents because it reduces concentration, reaction time, and control. Beyond individual behavior, poor road infrastructure can also make traffic accidents more common, especially when roads are narrow, signs are unclear, lighting is weak, or intersections are badly designed. Given the seriousness of this problem, a more sustainable response is needed. Governments should enforce traffic laws more strictly through fines, cameras, and regular police checks. At the same time, public education campaigns should help people understand that careless driving is not only a personal mistake, but also a threat to other people's lives. Cities should also improve road design, pedestrian crossings, traffic signals, public transportation, and street lighting. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that traffic accidents are caused by a combination of human irresponsibility and weak infrastructure. The best approach is to combine stricter law enforcement, better traffic education, and safer urban planning.
Cultural sharing. Cultural sharing between countries has become more common in the modern world. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this trend. In today's increasingly interconnected world, cultural sharing has become a defining feature of contemporary society. People now exchange food, music, films, fashion, languages, and traditions through travel, education, media, and technology. Although this trend can promote mutual understanding and cultural diversity, it may also create concerns about cultural loss and commercialization. One compelling argument in favor of cultural sharing is that it helps people develop greater respect for different cultures. This is particularly important in a world where people from different backgrounds often study, work, and live together. When individuals learn about foreign customs, beliefs, festivals, and lifestyles, they are more likely to become open-minded and tolerant. Beyond this social benefit, cultural sharing can also enrich people's daily lives, since they can enjoy international food, music, art, literature, and entertainment without leaving their own country. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential drawbacks should not be overlooked. The most serious concern associated with cultural sharing is that local traditions may gradually lose their importance. When global culture becomes too dominant, young people may pay less attention to their own language, customs, and traditional values. A further concern is that cultural elements may be copied, commercialized, or used mainly for profit without proper respect for their original meaning. This can turn meaningful traditions into shallow forms of entertainment. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that cultural sharing is largely positive when it is practiced respectfully. The best approach is to welcome foreign cultures with an open mind while still preserving local identity, traditional values, and cultural pride.
21. Education and society. Education plays a vital role in the development of individuals and society. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement? In an increasingly competitive society, education has become closely connected to future opportunities, personal development, and social progress. It is often seen as one of the most powerful tools for improving people's lives and strengthening communities. Although other factors such as family background, talent, and personal effort are also important, I strongly agree that education plays a vital role in the development of both individuals and society. One compelling argument in favor of education is that it gives individuals the knowledge and skills they need to improve their lives. This is particularly important because modern jobs often require communication skills, digital literacy, problem-solving ability, and professional knowledge. People with better education usually have more career options, higher income, and greater confidence in making life decisions. Beyond economic benefits, education can also develop critical thinking, discipline, independence, and a stronger sense of personal responsibility. The positive effects of education are not limited to individuals, they also extend to society as a whole. A well-educated population can contribute to economic growth, technological innovation, public health, and social stability. This becomes particularly important when societies face complex problems such as poverty, unemployment, misinformation, and environmental damage. Educated citizens are more likely to understand social issues, respect different opinions, follow laws, and participate responsibly in community life. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that education is essential for both personal success and national development. The best approach is to invest in quality education, equal access, and practical skills, so that education can truly become a foundation for a fairer and more progressive society. 22. Tourism development. Tourism development has become one of the main sources of income for many countries, but it also creates certain problems. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of developing tourism. In an increasingly globalized world, tourism development has become an important source of income, cultural exchange, and international connection. Many countries invest heavily in hotels, transport, entertainment, and tourist attractions in order to attract visitors. Although tourism can bring significant economic benefits, it may also create environmental and social problems if it is not managed carefully. One compelling argument in favor of tourism development is that it can stimulate economic growth. This is particularly important for countries or local communities that depend on services, hospitality, transport, and small businesses. When tourists spend money on accommodation, food, shopping, tours, and entertainment, they create jobs and increase local income. Beyond this immediate economic benefit, tourism can also promote cultural exchange since visitors have opportunities to learn about local traditions, history, cuisine, and ways of life. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential drawbacks should not be overlooked. The most serious concern associated with tourism development is environmental pressure. Popular destinations may suffer from overcrowding, traffic congestion, pollution, waste, and damage to natural landscapes. A further concern is that local culture may become commercialized when traditional practices are changed mainly to satisfy tourists rather than preserve their original meaning. This can weaken cultural authenticity over time. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that tourism development is beneficial only when it is planned responsibly. The best approach is to promote sustainable tourism, protect local culture, control visitor numbers where necessary, and ensure that tourism income benefits local communities rather than damaging them. 23. Healthy lifestyle. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle is not just about exercising, it also requires a balanced diet and sufficient sleep. Discuss the benefits of maintaining a healthy lifestyle. In the current social context, maintaining a healthy lifestyle has become a major concern for people of different ages. Many individuals now face pressure from work, study, technology use, and unhealthy eating habits. Although some people associate health mainly with exercise, I would argue that a truly healthy lifestyle requires a balanced combination of physical activity, nutritious food, and sufficient sleep. One compelling argument in favor of maintaining a healthy lifestyle is that it protects physical health in the long term. This is particularly important because many modern diseases are linked to poor daily habits such as lack of exercise, excessive fast food, and irregular sleep. Regular physical activity strengthens the heart, muscles, and immune system, while a balanced diet provides the body with essential nutrients. Beyond disease prevention, healthy routines can also increase energy levels, allowing people to study, work, and perform daily tasks more effectively. The positive effects of a healthy lifestyle also extend to mental well-being. People who sleep properly, eat well, and exercise regularly are more likely to manage stress, concentrate better, and maintain emotional balance. This becomes particularly important in a fast-paced society where many people suffer from anxiety, tiredness, and burnout. A healthy lifestyle can therefore improve not only physical strength, but also confidence, mood, memory, and productivity. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that maintaining a healthy lifestyle is essential for long-term quality of life. The best approach is to build realistic daily habits, including regular exercise, balanced meals, enough sleep, and better stress management, rather than relying on short-term health solutions. 24. Advertising. Advertising has both advantages and disadvantages. What are the benefits of advertising, and what problems does it cause? In a consumer-driven society, advertising has become a powerful force that shapes people's choices, lifestyles, and purchasing habits. It appears on television, websites, social media, streets, mobile applications, and almost every digital platform. Although advertising can provide useful information and support business growth, it can also create problems related to consumerism, misinformation, and unnecessary spending. One compelling argument in favor of advertising is that it helps consumers learn about products and services. This is particularly useful when people need to compare prices, discover new brands, or find special offers. Advertising can introduce customers to products that may genuinely meet their needs, from educational courses to household items and health services. Beyond this consumer benefit, advertising can also support economic activity by helping businesses attract customers, increase sales, and compete more effectively in the market. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential drawbacks should not be overlooked. The most serious concern associated with advertising is that it may encourage people to buy things they don't really need. Many advertisements use emotional language, attractive images, celebrities, or exaggerated claims to make products appear more necessary or desirable than they actually are. A further concern is that misleading advertising can distort consumers' judgment, especially when companies hide disadvantages or target children who are not mature enough to evaluate commercial messages critically. Taking all these points into account, I would argue that advertising is useful but should be controlled responsibly. The best approach is to allow advertising to inform consumers and support businesses, while regulating misleading content and encouraging people to make thoughtful purchasing decisions. 25. Online shopping. Online shopping has become increasingly popular all around the world. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this trend. In an increasingly digitalized and convenience-oriented society, online shopping has become a noticeable feature of everyday life. People can now buy clothes, food, books, electronics, cosmetics, and household items through websites and mobile applications. Although this trend brings considerable convenience and consumer choice, it also creates problems related to product quality, overspending, and traditional businesses. One compelling argument in favor of online shopping is that it saves time and effort. This is particularly important in contemporary society where many people have busy schedules and limited free time. Instead of traveling to physical stores, customers can search for products, compare prices, read reviews, and make payments within a few minutes. Beyond this immediate benefit, online shopping can also give consumers access to a much wider range of products, including items that may not be available in local shops. While these benefits are undeniable, the potential
This video is brought to you by the Ielts Focus. Facebook.com, the Ielts Focus. Zalo 0847 705 974.